A Wednesday morning edition of Daybreak Nevada, 23rd day of December. And just imagine, you're in the festive mood, you're in the festive spirit, and your phone rings and you look at the caller ID, and it says it's the sheriff's office. And they're calling you, telling you that they're going to come arrest you, but they're willing to make a settlement on the phone right now. And you know, you don't know any better. You go ahead and you give the guy your bank information, or you run down to our place, the convenience store, and buy some gift cards to try to settle this. And it's not the sheriff that's calling you. It's a scammer, and it's all going on again. White Pine County Sheriff Scott Henroid. Can you believe that these scammers have the audacity to do this in the holiday season?
Well, they do it all year long, so I think they just ramped up once again. This isn't a unfamiliar scam. This is a recycled scam that has reared its ugly head again and has bitten a lot of folks in our community. Wyatt?
And not just in Ely. We have reports out of Lyon County, out of Washoe County, all over the rurals. And they seem to hit the rurals, I guess, because the people in the rurals have more respect for the law enforcement than some do in the urban areas.
That, or I think people have a tendency to more report it in the rurals. In the larger metropolitan areas, sometimes those crimes go unreported. But in our local jurisdiction, you know, we try to take every report seriously and do an investigation. But you're totally right. These scammers are very convincing, and somehow they have the technology to twist a number, or whatever you want to call it, to show that the caller ID might even be coming from the sheriff's office. But that scammer is very convincing, and they use every method that they can to put the fear into the recipient of that call that we're going to come and arrest you or put you in jail or take away your property or whatever it might be. And when they put that fear into you, of course, the first thing you want to do is find a resolution for that. So a lot of people are willing to give them their banking account information. And it amazes me because the scammer will direct you in directions where you should know that this is a scam. I mean, nowhere in the history of law enforcement has law enforcement ever taken gift card numbers to pay a bill or a fine. Man, that's a warning right off the bat.
You know, and like we said, this isn't just here. I'm assuming that if anybody gets one of these calls, your best recommendation is to hang up, not hit last number redial, but dial the sheriff's office number yourself.
Correct. Yeah, don't hit redial, because that just goes back to how they're circumventing the actual numbers. But I can assure you that the White Pine County Sheriff's Office will not be calling you and informing that you have a warrant. We won't be calling you to pay fines that you think you might have over the phone. That is unacceptable, and we do not do that. So if you get any of these calls, it's a scam, just immediately hang up, discontinue. If you can, block the number on your cell phone, and just do not in any circumstances provide them with any of your personal information. We've had an individual in our community that just lost over $9,000 over this scam in the last week, and there's no way for us to recoup that money. They ship that money, or just, you know, it's routed so many different ways that it's impossible for us to track where that money ends up. So we just feel
many
sorry.
of these guys are offshore.
Right. Yeah. We just feel sorry for these victims and try to educate them to the best of our ability so it doesn't happen again. But unfortunately, they're out that money.
You know, so if you get a call from the sheriff's office, wish them a Merry Christmas, and then tell them, and then call the sheriff's office and make a report. Particularly if you have made the mistake of giving them banking information or whatever, call the sheriff's office and then make the report, and then immediately call your bank.
Correct, because the bank's going to want a copy of the actual report. So please do call. We can send a deputy over, make the report, provide you with that report number where you or the bank can obtain a copy of that report, because you're going to want to immediately contact your banking establishment and have your accounts changed or locked or closed so that no more money's being sucked out of your account.
Stop the bleeding.
Yes.
So folks, be careful. Use your brain. Don't let the euphoria of the season get in the way of your common sense. Now, we want to talk about good news. The White Pine County Sheriff's Office did lots of collections to help in this holiday season. Give us a report on how all that went down.
You know what? It's a fabulous time of year for everybody right now. The Christmas season brings out the best in people, and it's brought out the best in people for donations this year. We're going to be doing right around 180 to 200 food baskets this year for individuals in need in our community. So
excellent.
Christmas Eve morning, the Sheriff's Office employees will be over at Ridley's putting the baskets together, and we'll be delivering them throughout the day on Christmas Eve so that people can have a wonderful Christmas dinner. And then our Toys for Tot program, when we picked up our Toys for Tots, the Salvation Army actually gave us more Toys for Tots than we actually needed. They were in fear of the COVID, just like everybody else is, that there might be a greater need this year. So they sent us home with a lot more wonderful presents for children. So we're still taking names because of the excess that we have. We'll take them right up to Christmas Eve so that we can make sure that all these youth in our community will wake up to a wonderful Christmas.
Great news to hear. So give them a call tomorrow, by tomorrow, 775-289-8808.
Yes.
I got that right. I'm
You
surprised. And tomorrow on Daybreak, instead of Cosette Eldridge, we'll be talking with Pastor Bob Winder of the White Pine Ministerial Association about the Christmas dinner, which is a wonderful thing here that we have in the community, and a great way to celebrate, particularly this in this horrible year that we've had.
Correct. And I'm glad to see that continuing. Darren Coons, our public health director, has made it possible for that to happen. He's worked timeless hours to make sure that it's going to be safe for people, and that all the protective equipment and personal protective gear that you're going to be wearing will be appropriate for the workers down there. So it's going to be a safe environment. So I'm so glad to see that happening, because that's so important, again, for our community to reach out for those that might be home alone and want the company, and, just a great thing.
And they'll be bringing you by dinner, too. And they'll be bringing me by dinner, because we'll be, you'll be there and I'll be on the air.
Right. The Sheriff's Office never closes, so the guys are still out there working, and dispatchers are still dispatching, and our correctional staff still watching inmates. So it's a wonderful thing to see them even reach out to our staff and make sure that they're taken care of on Christmas, too.
And from our house to your house, Sheriff, Merry Christmas.
And Merry Christmas to everybody out there, and especially to you, Wyatt. Thank you.
All righty. Sheriff Scott Henroid with our weekly Sheriff's Report, where Nevada comes to talk.